Hey soldiers, it looks like the market is developing a solution to the money-losing prospects of ESG and DEI investing. Of course, ESG, environmental social governance, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have covered those concepts extensively here on the channel and their effect on companies like Target and Anheuser-Busch. And they're starting to have an effect on Kohl's as well. These concepts, they don't make money. They have no place in investing. Okay, you're supposed to bring in revenue, cut expenses. This is how you make money and create shareholder value. And so many of you have been subject to these money-losing funds that are governed by ESG because of the likes of Blackrock, State Street, Vanguard are so in love with pushing agendas as opposed to pushing return on investment. So we've got a development brewing here that looks like it's going to be a market-based solution to give you an alternative to all of the lose money and feel good about doing it, save the planet and, retire as a homeless person type of structures that have been built over the last few years. Guys, go ahead and hit the join button. I want you to find out what we offer in the Officers Club. And the reason for that is because we are getting so deep and detailed. We're about to start a mini-series, okay, on the members-only Officers Club that's going to walk you through how to take a step back from participating in all of the chaos that's going on in our economy, how to better create your own economy and thrive. Okay, you don't have to abide by the terms that are written by, the World Economic Forum and the Fed and, all of that. You can actually come out from among them to a large extent and have a better quality of life as well. We're going to start that mini series. Hit that join button, find out what else we offer. Now, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and become a soldier of finance. It's easy to do. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know you did so in the comments. I will salute you. And guys, you guys are the greatest at hitting the thumbs up button. Go ahead, do that now. Help YouTube recognize this channel as one that's talking about something and other people should hear it. All right, let's get started. A new fund rejects woke investing as it touts what they're calling EIG, not ESG, not DEI, EIG. I'm going to tell you what that stands for in a moment. All right, so a new fund is aiming to capitalize on the opportunities that have been skipped over by woke investing and has drawn high-profile backers from conservative political circles. A $150 million fund that's been launched by 1789 Capital has created a new framework it calls EIG, or Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Growth. Okay? All of those things are numerically based. Okay? I can tell whether or not you're an entrepreneur, right? Which should presuppose that you are predilected toward creating value in the marketplace and getting compensated for that. Innovation. You innovate, bring out new products or new ways to service clients, and usually you're going to be rewarded for that, all right? And growth, okay? What we want to see companies do, especially the companies we're investing in, right? Do we want EIG or do we want ESG? Do we want some pie-in-the-sky notion that, a corporation like, let's say AT&T is going to solve all of your social problems? Target or Amazon, they're going to preach to you now. Okay, you're going to come in, you're going to spend your hard-earned money, and you're going to buy products. But before you get out of there, you got to be subject to messaging that chastises you for not caring enough about the environment. Okay, for not seeing race, so therefore you're a racist. Okay, for saying, hey, look, I want to keep all my appendages, and I don't want to date anyone in the same sex. That's just me. But hey, look, you can do what you like. I recognize liberty, and I want you to live the life that you want to live. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, go for it. And then that thought process makes you a homophobe or bigot, okay? So you got to get all this messaging pumped into your brain. Like, did you know that the Punisher, that's a Marvel comic character, it was on Netflix for a while. They did an awesome job with that series. Did you know that Disney's going to pull back on that because they're saying that, well, the audience for the Punisher is kind of right-wing because the Punisher's a vigilante. All the superheroes really are vigilantes, right? And so they're saying, no, even though this content is very popular and makes us money, we don't like the attitude of the audience that consumes this content. So we're going to back off of it. This is the kind of dumb decisions that companies are making under the guise of ESG and diversity, equity, and inclusion. So you can get with this or you can get with that. A $150 million fund is being launched. Okay, we told you that by 1719 Capital. Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Growth is going to directly challenge the ESG framework. And it's coming into prominence. More people are taking a look at this. You know why? Because when you go to the store and you want to buy something, you can't tell the cashier, hey, I don't have any money because, I invest in ESG. Okay? So I'm a good person. I care about the environment. And so even though I, lost all my money, I got this T-bone steak here, and I'm just pretty sure that because, I got a sign on my front yard that says, diversity is our strength. Okay, that you're going to let me have the steak in exchange for that. Okay, the police will be called if you don't hurry up and leave that store. We've had more than a decade to extrapolate whether ESG is successful. Metrics show facts that ESG stocks have underperformed and destroyed value. According to Omid Malik, founder and president of 1789, he had that to say to On the Money. He goes on, there is a huge opportunity to be a different kind of capital provider. Malik is the co-founder of 1789 with Chris Buskirk. At the end of last year, the 10 largest ESG funds by assets had all posted, and we went over this, guys, double-digit losses, with 8 falling even more than the S&P 500's 14.8% decline, according to Bloomberg. Laggards include BlackRock's $20.7 billion iShares ESG Aware Fund and Vanguard's $5.9 billion ESG US stock ETF. The Aware Fund, are you aware of how much money you're losing when you put your money in it? We're entering a new era. Interest rates aren't zero, and it's getting harder to make money, according to Malik. You want to make sure you're investing in great businesses, not pie-in-the-sky ideas that make you feel good. How good you going to feel when you turn around and you find out that now that you're retired, you got 5 years before you need to be a Walmart greeter. And then you find out 6 weeks after you took the job that they got a robot coming in. This is going to do it better than you. As the economy falters and the easy money era of the last decade screeches to a halt, the EIG fund is betting investors will be less concerned about how many women are on the company's board and more concerned about the company's bottom line. Absolutely. 1789 Capital named for the year the Bill of Rights was adopted will invest in companies that support American manufacturing and those that have been shunned by the ESG movement, like conventional fossil fuels. Now, Warren Buffett has rejected ESG. We covered that. And he continues to buy shares he's a big shareholder in Occidental Petroleum. Okay? He owns Burlington Northern Santa Fe Rail, which does a brisk business in transporting oil. This is why Warren Buffett opposed the Keystone pipelines and other pipelines, because that would have taken business away from his trains transporting oil. Warren Buffett is pro-oil. He's just not for oil being transported outside of his network, okay, because he won't make any money for it. And he's got political clout, right? So Contrary to what John Kerry wants you to believe, we're not going to run a society off of windmills. Okay, we're not going to run it off of solar panels. Not yet, at least. We got to at least. I don't even see us doing that in this century. Running this society as it stands now. Forget growth. Okay, I don't see us doing that. Now maybe I lack vision. I don't know, but I tell you what, I'll change my mind when I see an aircraft carrier running on solar panels. Okay, instead of nuclear power. I'll change my mind when they strap a windmill to Air Force One. All right, when these guys get out of these private jets that take this expensive derivative of fossil fuels and start taking Zoom meetings for, the Bilderberg group, then I will start to believe there is a crisis, maybe. So the EIG framework also will guide 1789 to invest in the parallel economy, not the woke companies. And that's what I was talking about earlier in the video. Is we're going to have that series talking about the parallel economy and how you can better construct one for yourself and your family. One that will lead to real generational wealth. A lot of what we do out here is orchestrated and, gets in between us and our free will. Edward Bernays, look him up. In fact, I might do a documentary on him. Those documentaries are labor intensive, so they take a lot of time to produce. Edward Bernays is the father of marketing, okay, and convincing you to buy things that you didn't know you needed until he told you you did, okay? We got to get out of that mindset and keep more money in our pocket. Now, we also see that with Bud Light and with Target, and maybe even Kohl's coming up here too, the power is in our hands, all right? This is the best thing that could have happened. The Bud Light is the best thing that ever happened to the conservative movement. You know why? Because now we know we don't need to compete with Antifa and going out there and, protesting and smashing stuff. We don't need to do that, okay? All we need to do is keep our money in our pocket or take our money elsewhere. That's all we need to do. Stay right at home, continue to, conservatives are, smarter anyway than hardcore leftist communists anyway, because you've seen communists fail all around the world that still want to try it. But what we do as conservatives is a lot more productive. It allows us, me keeping my money in my pocket, allows me to not have to go to a protest, okay? I don't have to get my name on an FBI list. My name's probably already on several. But I don't have to get my name on an FBI list. I can just say, oh, you know what? I'm going to buy Yingling. Or I'm going to buy, this brand over here, Modelo. And for those of you who keep asking in the comments, well, Modelo is owned by Anheuser-Busch. If you watch the video, I make it very clear that yes, Modelo in Europe is owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev. But Modelo in America is owned by Constellation Brands. Some people were commenting, on the video that said that Modelo overtook Bud. Like, Modelo's owned by Anheuser-Busch. And I'm like, I think I cleared that little nuance 5 minutes into the video. I mean, you actually have to watch the video. But anyway, we know that there's a demand for non-woke patriotic companies. Malik notes, there are 100 million Americans who have been both ignored and alienated and want to use and shop at platforms that aren't antithetical to their views. That's right. And these companies have gone out and made it clear that they have definite viewpoints on society, and you are a bad person if you don't agree with them. So who would want to spend their money with a company like that? One example of a company in the parallel economy is Public Square, or they call it Public SQ, which Malik's SPAC is taking public. Public SQ, or Public Square, aims to become the next big online shopping destination. But for businesses to participate, it's requiring that they commit to values like freedom, family, and the Constitution. Now, those are pretty decent values. I would not say that they should require that. Now, here's why. Because you might run into some legal jeopardy there. Because you might not like freedom. And in America, okay, you have the right of free speech, and you can't really, and I know the government guarantees it, but if you're going to get government contracts or anything like that, or hope to grow really big, that might interfere. Do I like the values of freedom, family, and the Constitution? I love them. All right. I absolutely love them. Requirement is always a word that kind of gives me pause, though, in what is supposed to be a free society. We don't want to become these leftists, right? While the first fund is just accepting capital from family offices and high net worth individuals for now, Malik said 1789 will expand the scope of their funds in future to meet demand. He predicts millions of investors will be interested. I would be interested in taking a look at it, okay? Not that I need, now I'm going to tell you this. I do not need my values to line up completely with the corporation. And the reason I say that is because I am an adult exercising emotional intelligence, and I know that everybody's not going to think like me, okay? My issue comes in when they start to pretty much demand that I, just ignore my reality, the reality, okay? If you can see it in a microscope, it's reality. So I've got to abdicate my reality and accept and recognize an opposite one, okay? And when they start doing that, that's where the problem comes in. Or, like with this whole thing with Bud Light, when you start targeting children, look, you can cut this YouTube channel off today, Google. I don't care. I'm not going down in history as compromising on the health and welfare of children. Never gonna happen. Okay, so he's expecting millions of investors, and I also would imagine he's expecting pension funds, and I also would imagine he's expecting 401ks to take a look at this. While they aren't accepting institutional money now, they could be the beneficiary of states that are pulling pensions from Blackrock and other pro-ESG investors. The fund is launching as companies that have embraced progressive values like Anheuser-Busch and Target are losing tens of billions of dollars in market cap and seeing sales decline. Absolutely. Okay. So the market always tends to develop some sort of solution, okay, to problems that exist. And money always tends to flow where it is treated best. So we may be seeing that here with this fund, and I'm sure it might be the first we're hearing about, but it's not going to be the last. Trust me on that. Now, I want you to take a look at this video. Hilton Hotels, yes, that Hilton. They are running out of San Francisco with their tail between their legs. In fact, Hilton and another prominent hotel in San Francisco, they've had enough. So much so that you will not believe what they're doing to wash their hands of those properties. They want out so bad that they're actually doing something that is antithetical to big business. And they're doing it to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. All right, guys, check it out. I'll talk to you soon.